Las Vegas. My name is Dan Morrison. I'm the editor of ProTradecraft.com. We used to have a sign over there, but it's not there anymore, so I don't point to it anymore. Now it's around the back. ProTradecraft is a technical journal built for phones, for residential contractors and remodelers. Basically people who wear nail bags and install stuff and nail stuff together, and people who supervise people who wear nail bags that are installing stuff and nailing stuff together. Today we've been building a deck, we've been building an exterior wall with a cutaway, we installed a kitchen, part of a kitchen. We need a bigger space for a whole kitchen. Yesterday we finished off with a deck, which was just in time for the block party so we could sit on the deck and drink beer. Now we're going to put a railing on so that we can safely sit on the deck and drink beer. I don't think there's any nailing together involved. It's mostly screwing it up, screwing it together.
Screwing it up.
Together.
Screwing it together, not screwing it up, but...
So I'm going to give it to Sean.
Cool.
Sean and Patrick from
Premier
Outdoor Living.
Yep.
Exit 3 or Exit 4 in New Jersey, depending on how fast you're going when you see the exit sign.
All right, so we're going to be installing the ALX Contemporary Rail by Deckorators. It's powder coated. It's a welded system, so everything comes pre-assembled, which is really nice. If you missed it yesterday, we did install this deck with the Very plank in the new color Kaya. So we like this color combination a lot. Dark brown with a black railing. Looks really sleek, contemporary, and it's kind of timeless. A lot more durable than a vinyl railing, so we install it on almost every project. So we're gonna start installing this thing. Pat, you ready?
Right.
All right. So one of the biggest things that I've found that improves our speed on installation of railing was switching to a top-mounted post. We used to do wood posts with carriage bolts, and I kind of thought that was the only way, but we found out about top-mounted posts, and it made everything so much easier. So this, combined with a pre-assembled rail section, makes installing railing so much easier for us. So we have some GRK screws here. Just want like a 4-inch structural screw, 4 or 5 inch. And the biggest thing is you want to make sure that you have blocking underneath of this. So that's really the only thing that needs to be pre-planned. You have to have flat blocking underneath where your rail is going to go, so you have something solid to screw into. So, Pat, you want to hand me that square there? Thank you. So the other nice thing about this wide board from Deckorators is that you can center the railing on that edge board, so you don't have to have it over top of your seam of your field boards. I think it's just a nice little touch. So we use the square to make sure we're coming off nice and even. Pat, we're gonna need a new battery. This thing is out of juice. We couldn't find any electric earlier, so we didn't have a chance to charge our batteries, but this one is nice and full, so we should be good. So we're going to install this first corner one, and then we're going to connect the rail sections to it. Leave our other 2 posts unconnected so that everything is nice and seamless, and then we can put the lags in there. So I'll show you that in 1 second here. All right. So we'll start by installing this section over here. Let's get that ready, Pat. Now we're gonna get this on here. We're gonna connect the other post. That way we don't have to worry about our post being exactly where it needs to be. One thing I really like about this rail system, has the hardware that you connect to the rail section instead of mounting it on the posts. So we've had trouble before with mounting it on the post and you end up being like 1/8 of an inch off and your railing section gets crooked. So this is just kind of a foolproof way of making sure that doesn't happen. So Pat, you want to get some screws out? Yep. There you go. Got some screws, thank you. These are not the right screws there, Pat. Pretty close, but longer ones, yep. There we go. So it's nice to have everything staged out so all the screws are in the right spot. You don't get it confused. That's what we like to do. We like to not get it confused, yeah, so that's why we've pre-staged everything. Everything's in the exact location. We know exactly where it is. So these just install on the end of the rail section, as I said. It just takes some of the guesswork and kind of complications of mounting these things, measuring in between. Again, a lot of times you get somebody installing them and they install the bottom one like 1/8 of an inch too low, the top's 1/8 of an inch too high, and that's not going to work. So this is a nice system that kind of eliminates that issue. All right, we got the top one. Just need 4 more screws there, Pat. Actually, 2 screws on the bottom here. Thank you. Thank you. All right, just hold that steady there. Okay. All right, now we have one side done. Let's install these brackets on the other side of this rail. Just need 6 more screws there, Pat. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know we're making it look very easy. No questions, all right.
Unquestionably a clear demonstration.
It is,
apparently.
yeah.
Get it?
Okay.
I think when you have to ask if they get it, it wasn't.
No, that's all right. The screws there, that's a great question. So these are obviously pre-drilled, have your holes on there, and there's basically a little channel that it goes into in the inside of the rail system. So grab's really nice. We haven't had any problems with, stripping.
So they're machine screws, not self-tapping screws.
Exactly. All right. Next thing we have to do on an 8-foot rail section, we have 2 of these pegs, like support posts or feet, whatever you want to call them. So we're going to set this up. We're going to basically just mark where they go. Let's see, we got that set up. We're going to measure right to the middle of the rail post. So we got 3.5 inches. Right there. All right, Pat, you can move this out of the way. Okay, so we got one there. Let's get a pre-drill ready. So these little support posts, we've pre-installed the bottom ones on the underside of the rail section. And now, once you have it, I find the easiest way is to just put it on here. We can mark the location, make sure it's in the right spot. And then you put this little foot on there, and it slides right on top. Probably the hardest thing is figuring out how to line it up. So I like to just put the section up here, mark it out. You don't have to worry about measuring or anything like that. There you go, we'll pre-drill that. Pop out our battery that we only have one of. Okay, we got one set up here. We do have one more, so let's get that rail section back up here. Yep. There you go. You got it tight against that post there, Pat? Yep. Okie doke. Alright, that's good. So we just marked the center of that foot, and now I'm going to measure back our 3.5 inches. That's going to be exactly where that goes. Should really have more than